In today's video, we're diving deep into a very powerful technique that can completely transform your reality. This technique is called timeline shifting. If you've ever felt stuck or wondered how to step into a different version of yourself, then this video is for you. And the best part is it's totally effortless once you get the hang of it. When we talk about shifting timelines and changing our reality, we're really talking about one of the most powerful tools we have for personal transformation. By harnessing our minds and our intentions, we can literally change the course of our lives and create the reality that we've always wanted. So the idea behind timeline shifting is very simple. You focus on the reality you desire until it becomes your new experience. This technique involves mental exercises, visualization, and consistency. Ultimately, by believing in and acting as if you are already living in your desired reality, you actually create its manifestation. So whether you want a new job, better relationships, or just more happiness in your life, timeline shifting can help get you there. This approach doesn't promise instant results, of course, but it encourages a shift in perspective and in your behavior that can definitely lead to significant changes in your life. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I teach practical and spiritual methods for organizing and empowering your life. If you're ready to discover how to change your life for the better, let's now dive in to the concept of timeline shifting and figure out how it can work for you in your own life. Okay, so now let's get started. What exactly is timeline shifting? You can think of your life as a series of potential outcomes, different timelines, each one representing a different version of reality. And each timeline is shaped, of course, by the choices you make, the beliefs you hold, and really the energy that you project out into the world. So the idea with this concept is that you can shift between these timelines consciously, moving from where you are now to a different version of your life that better aligns with your desires. This may even happen effortlessly as you make progress on your spiritual path. So the idea is that you can change your life path to experience a completely different reality. So imagine your life as a series of different roads on a map, right? What timeline shifting allows you to do is to shift between one route to the other, so we can decide in which direction we want to go and which route we want to take. So then how can we do this? You do this through focusing your thoughts and your energy on the reality you want to create in your life. So by changing your mindset and your actions, you can shift into another timeline where things happen differently at any given moment. One interesting thing is that science has even hinted at the possibility of multiple timelines through quantum physics. But today we're going to focus more on the practical side of this concept and how you can use this idea in your life to shift your current reality. So what's the science behind it? We'll just touch on it very briefly, but essentially the concept of timeline shifting is very closely tied to the idea of quantum possibilities. Quantum physics suggests that there are infinite possibilities at any given moment in time, and that the reality we experience is shaped by our observation and what we choose to focus on. So one way to think about it is when you focus on one particular outcome or version of yourself, you're essentially collapsing all those other possibilities into that one timeline that you chose, right? So it's a really fascinating way of looking at reality. So now that we have some of that background information, the next question is, okay, how do we get started? How do we actually start to shift our timeline? So I'm going to break it down for you into 4 very simple steps that you can actually start applying today if you wish. So with that, let's get into the first step. So the first step is this: clarity of vision. You have to get super clear on what kind of timeline you want to shift into. What does the version of yourself look like in this new timeline? What kind of life are you living? What kind of life do you desire? And you want to be as detailed as possible. Visualize your ideal day, how you feel, what you're doing, and who's around you. How do you spend your time? And I would suggest to write this down so you can get into the granular detail of what exactly this dream life and timeline looks like for you. Because this is really key in order to step into that new reality. We need to have clarity around what we actually desire. And some things you can do here, in addition to writing these things down, having a vision board can be a huge help. It can help you to really focus on what you want. You can also incorporate different affirmations or visualizations into this, but for now the important thing is just to know that you need that clarity of vision to get started. So the next step is to align your energy. So you want to align your energy with the version of yourself you've just visualized. Think about the feelings and beliefs that that future self, that future version of you holds. So are they confident? Are they joyful? Are they at peace? What's their day like? And what you want to do is start embodying those emotions now. I mean, there's no reason we have to wait for the future to feel those positive emotions in the present moment. One thing you'll find is when you start to align your energy with this new timeline, you'll actually very likely start attracting new opportunities and experiences that match the vibration of that new timeline that you want to get into. So the next step is to take aligned action. So what does this mean? It's great to have an idea of what we want to accomplish, and it's wonderful to start feeling those emotions. But in addition, we actually have to do the work. We actually have to do the step-by-step work of bringing about that new reality into our life. So, for example, let's say one of the things you want to do is you want to start a new business. Well, it's great to plan and think about what you want to do, but at a certain point, you need to actually get started. You need to actually maybe sign up for a course or start watching some YouTube videos on how to get started. Like, in addition to having the big picture idea of what we want to do, we also need to take very concrete steps to start manifesting that reality. So again, with a business, maybe you decide to sign up for a course on how to get started as an entrepreneur. Or maybe you want to have better relationships in your life. So one thing you can do there is make a commitment to start going to more social events, or maybe join different groups in whatever city you're in. So these small actions really act as signals to the universe that you're ready for the shift and that you're doing your part to bring it into your life. So now the last and final step is to just detach and trust this process. And this seems really easy, but it's an integral part of this process. I think this is where a lot of people actually get stuck. They focus so much on the process and what they have to do that they sometimes resist the natural flow of events coming into their life. You don't always have to figure out every little detail of how this timeline is going to manifest itself into your life. Part of this is trusting that the universe is going to bring about what's best for you. And you need to also trust that as you maintain this new level of energy, life will start to rearrange itself in ways that support this new shift in your life. So now let's talk about some real life scenarios and how this might actually manifest in your own life. Maybe you can actually see yourself in one of these stories. So one example could be, imagine someone working in a job that they don't love. And maybe that's you. Maybe you don't even have to imagine that. But you can use timeline shifting to start yourself on this pathway to creating a new reality. So again, know what you want to achieve, then start embodying those emotions, right? Maybe you start showing up with more enthusiasm in the office. And as well, you take some action. You take action, you start looking for new positions, you start putting yourself out there, you update your resume. And one thing that happens is over time, with this incremental progress, without even realizing it, one day you might just find yourself in the new job. And it's like, how did that happen? Now, obviously you put in the work and you planned for it and you did your part. But sometimes I found in my own life that I look back and it's like, wow, I mean, I put in my part and my effort. But it's amazing to look back and see how the universe and other forces have really helped you get to where you wanted to go. So on a personal level, this really resonates with me because I went through a similar process just a few years ago. I just started feeling like it was time for a new chapter. And so I started thinking about, what did I actually want to create? What would that new life look like for me? So I took the necessary action. I started thinking about what that new life would feel like. How could I embody that kind of emotion? And fast forward a few years later, I'm here living in Florida. I have my own business. and I've accomplished much of what I wanted to accomplish years ago. And it's amazing to look back on that and see just how far I've come. And now, absolutely, I've had to put in a lot of time and energy to build all of this, and I've had to work really hard. But there's also this aspect of the universe backing you up at times, which is really amazing. But I've seen that play out in my life, that when I do my part, the universe sort of conspires to help you, and that's a really amazing thing. So finally, let's talk about some very common blocks that you might have during this process and how to overcome them. These are some of the most common blocks that people face when they're trying to shift timelines, as well as some easy ways to move past them. So first, we have doubt and fear. Doubt and fear are some of the biggest obstacles for us, specific to shifting timelines, but also in general throughout our lives. If you don't truly believe that you can, in fact, make a change in your life, that you can shift your timeline, you're going to have trouble seeing the results. And the key here, what you can do is start to build up your belief system. Remind yourself that anything is possible. Stay optimistic, stay positive, and truly believe and know that you do have the power to create your own reality. Another very common block is holding on to the past. Many people are attached to past mistakes, past outcomes, and you can't move forward if you're constantly looking back. Now, it's important to assess things and look at what we've done right and wrong, learn from our mistakes. But once we've learned the lesson, it's important to move on. So at a certain point, we all need to let go of some of our old stories and make room for the new version of ourselves. We don't always have to be stuck in the past. It's important to learn lessons from it, but then move forward and start to create the new reality that we want to see. So the last common block is impatience. Shifting timelines, of course, isn't going to happen immediately. It takes a lot of work. It might take a lot of time. But you have to trust that things are unfolding at the right pace. You do your part, and then you trust that the universe is conspiring to help you. So you want to stay consistent with applying this process and ultimately know that the shift is happening and trust the process even if you don't see results immediately. So these are some very simple yet powerful techniques to shift timelines and transform your reality effortlessly. And remember, you want to have this clarity of what you want, align your energy, do the hard work, and then sit back and trust the process. These are all keys to success. So start practicing these tips today and see how your reality begins to shift in amazing ways. The most important thing to remember is that you have the power to create change in your life. You have the power to shift timelines and create a new reality that reflects your true desires. So don't be limited by your current mindset or circumstances. Remember that you do have the power to create something entirely new. If you found this video helpful, please do like the video, subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments if you've tried timeline shifting before or if you're going to start now. I'd love to hear your stories. And don't forget to check out my other videos for more guidance and support on your own journey of transformation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.